How do I align two different measurements in time in a PASCO Capstone graph? This capability is new as of PASCO Capstone version 1.6. In this example, I had an acceleration sensor on a cart. The acceleration measurements are shown in blue in the lower plot area, and I pushed that cart into a force sensor whose measurements are shown in the top plot area. I can see that I have peaks in both force and acceleration, but when I'm zoomed in like this, I can see that there's a slight misalignment in time of these two peaks. I expect these peaks to be aligned in time, and it's even more evident if I look at, for example, a plot of force versus acceleration in the lower right. Now, what's the cause of such misalignments in time? Well, in this case, I suspect it's because I had these two sensors connected to two different Bluetooth interfaces whose times were slightly misaligned. Another way to get misaligned time is to do remote data collection with two separate sensors. If the sensors aren't started at the same exact time, there'll be a misalignment between the two runs of data. In either case, you can fix this in PASCO Capstone version 1.6 by using a new tool. Now, if you're aligning two different measurements, it's important to know that this tool only works for measurements shown in the same plot area. I currently am showing force in the top plot area and acceleration in the bottom plot area, so the first step is I need to show both in the same plot area. With the top plot area selected, I will choose to add a y-axis, and for the second y-axis, I will plot the acceleration. I'll zoom in a bit so I can see those two peaks, and the misalignment is even a little bit clearer here in the top peak now that I'm looking at both of them. So what I need to do is select the coordinates tool from the toolbar, and I get a drop down from which I can choose to add the alignment tool. I'll click on the alignment tool and I'll drag it to the peak in my red measurement of force. You'll notice a drop down arrow, and if I click on that arrow, I get the option to align runs. Now it says align runs, but this tool works equally well for aligning measurements as long as they are in the same plot area. So I will select align runs, and I get a second coordinate. I'll drag this to the peak of the blue run, and I can see that that time shift is about 20 milliseconds. And I get an arrow which shows me that if I click the arrow, it's going to push or shift the blue measurement to the left. So I'll click on that, and now my two measurements, force and acceleration, are aligned in time. Now, this alignment happens throughout the file, so it's not just a graphical alignment, it happens in all of the displays. Now that I've done that alignment, if I want to, I could get rid of the acceleration measurement from the top display, so I'll click on that second y-axis and choose to remove it.